Welcome to Huddle Up,
Brought to you by the Fields Huddle Group.
Jaguars senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
And welcome in. It's Wednesday. It is Week 16, and it's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, J.P. Shadrick, John Oehser from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville at the Miller Electric Center. We'll get to Bucky in L.A. coming up. It's Week 16. The Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a battle of first-place teams in the AFC and NFC South divisions. Both teams tied for first place, and a lot of business to attend to over the final 3 weeks. Trevor Lawrence will get an update from the head coach. Not much of one, but he did not practice today. And, of course, the AFC playoff race is heated up as much as can be at this moment. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks is brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury, fieldsauto.com. And let's start with the status of Trevor Lawrence. Here's head coach Doug Peterson today.
You got to follow the steps, and it's really based on symptoms, and how he feels. If he can sit in a meeting and tolerate a meeting, it's okay. If not, then we don't put him in there, because you're stimulating the brain, right? So it's just based on symptoms. But if it's his knee or his ankle, he's in those meetings and he's getting the game plan and he's listening and all of that. So. You just got to do it really case by case.
Trevor Lawrence still in the concussion protocol. If he's not able to go Sunday, C.J. Beathard would be ready to roll.
A lot of practice at it, I think. Whether it's here or where I used to be. I think the mindset as being my 7th year in the league, it's just had a lot of experience. Even in games where the starter isn't banged up or whatever, just preparing you might have to go into the game. That's just kind of what you have to do. So at this point, it's really just a mindset. And, I feel like this year I've actually, gotten to practice a lot more than years past as far as with the starters, when Trev has missed a couple practices here or there. And it's only, benefited me and helped me in the long run of just getting rest with certain guys and that kind of stuff.
That's C.J. Beathard, backup quarterback, and, of course, in the protocol, Trevor Lawrence not allowed to speak with the media. Bucky Brooks with us now from Los Angeles, and his priority number one this week, the health of the quarterback. He did not practice today, Trevor Lawrence, so we're just waiting to see that 5-step process to get through the concussion protocol. And good afternoon, Buck.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, number 16 is the main concern. You want to see if your franchise quarterback is going to be available for this weekend game. And while you're doing that, you also want to get C.J. Beathard, the backup, ready to play, because no matter what, they're going to kick the ball off on Sunday, and whoever's taking snaps has to be ready to play and ready to play at a high level.
Yeah, and this feels, again, it's sort of wash, rinse, repeat in the sense that C.J. has been here before. I don't think it's insignificant when he talks about he's practiced more this year than he, I would think, has in the first 2 years. Maybe he practiced a couple of times after the Lions thing last year. But he's gotten more practice. It's I think this is even more so. My sense is players in the locker room are fully planning to play Sunday with the idea that Trevor won't be out there. Not that they didn't before, but to me this would be far more surprising than either of the first two, only because this one's not about his want to. This is about tests, whether he passes or not. So this is not where he can't be Willis Reed limping out there on this one. It has to pass through, and it won't be about his desire. So, Bucky, I think that's their preparation mindset is we have to figure out a way to win this with CJ. And I kind of think it's about what it would have been with Trevor, which is hold on to the ball, don't make mistakes on offense, and see if you can win if you don't give the game away.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And we've seen so many teams have to deal with this issue when it comes to the quarterback. The last few weeks we've seen backup quarterbacks kind of come through for their respective teams. We go all the way back to Cincinnati had to play with Jake Browning. We had Cleveland playing with Joe Flacco. We've seen it time and time again. The expectation doesn't change. I think for this team, regardless of who playing as quarterback, it doesn't really impact the issues that take place, the communication issues, the pre-snap penalties, turnovers, all of those things. Those things need to be cleaned up regardless of whether Trevor Lawrence was starting or not. And so I think the focus has to be on cleaning up those issues regardless of who starts on Sunday.
And to sort of extrapolate on that, I guess extrapolate or expand, if you will.
Whatever big words you want to use.
You dropped a Willis Reed on us a minute ago.
Well, I don't have Buckyism, so I have to pitch in where I can. It's I don't think it's absurd to think that the Jaguars could have the same kind of opportunities offensively as they did against the Ravens. Meaning, would it surprise you if against the Bucs, CJ put him in field goal range a couple of times in the first half? They got him in the red zone a few times during the game. And they did that the other night, and the problem was they couldn't close the drives. So make field goals, convert once in a while when you're down there. I could see him getting 20, and I think this will be a 23-20 game one way or the other. I think if the Jaguars play the clean game that Doug's been talking about for weeks and they haven't done, this would not be a mammoth upset. It's a 1-point line. So I don't think it's because of the way they've played. I think there are fans who think, well, there's just no way. It's over, et cetera, et cetera. I don't see it this way at all. I do think this game will show us something about this team. Do they have the maturity, the whatever it is that wills a team to win in this situation? To me, Bucky, playoff teams have that. Non-playoff teams don't. They have to show they're that kind of a team.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it, but in essence, it's a 3-game season. And if they take care of business, they will be what we thought they were, which is a division winner going into the postseason. It may not have been as impressive as we would like it, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you want to be one of the 7 teams that has a ticket to the dance. And if you earn the right to get into the postseason, you get a chance to reset the clock, you get a chance to refocus, and you can rewrite the narrative on your season. This is about them finding a way to be 1 point better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. No matter how that gets done, whether that's the defense pitching the shutout, whether it's the offense being able to score 40 points, or Jamal Agneman, the special teams leading the way, all hands on deck. It's an opportunity for this team to win. And there's some positive signs that you can take out of the last game against Baltimore that could lead this team to play better against Tampa. They just have to put it all together on the main stage.
I got a question for the former player, Bucky.
Okay, former player, ready.
So we've seen it a couple times this year where Trevor's played through leg issues, right? A knee injury and then the high ankle sprain. This one's a little different. But, what happens if he's cleared and all of a sudden Saturday it's like green light? I mean, are they doing 2 plans, and how does that affect an offense when you've got to maybe figure out life without him, and then all of a sudden he's back? Like, what happened? How different would it look?
Well, I mean, the one thing that you have with Trevor is you have your full complement of plays. The offense has been built with Trevor Lawrence in mind, and so you just go back to your normal game planning. When you have C.J. Beathard, there's some tweaks and adjustment that you have to make to accommodate his talent. And what you want to do is accentuate different parts of his game than you would Trevor. Coaches typically operate with both of those things in mind, because at any point Trevor Lawrence could go down with an ankle sprain in the midst of a game. You have to be able to call the game with CJ on the field. So it won't change much of anything. You'll practice those plays. Some of the plays are staple plays that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. But this week you probably have called more plays in practice that are designed specifically for C.J. Beathard. But if Trevor plays, you go back to your main stuff. And look, let's be honest. There may be a silver lining in all of this if Trevor does play. Maybe because of the way that he hasn't been able to practice. Maybe everything is smaller, a smaller menu, things are condensed down. They're kind of doing their day 1, day 2 installs in training camp. And maybe, just maybe, by cutting down the volume, they'll get a better performance from the players because everyone knows exactly what they're doing.
Plenty ahead. We'll come back in a moment and flip it to the Jaguars' defense against this Bucs offense. And Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans and Godwin, and they're playing some pretty good football down in Tampa these days. A little later, a Bucs linebacker and a Jaguars staffer have a connection from way back. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. Bootleggers, get ready. Luke Combs is bringing 2 nights of the Grow It Up and Getting Old tour to Everbank Stadium May 3rd and 4th, 2024. Different special guests each night. Tickets on sale now. For more, visit everbankstadium.com. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Are you ready to elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans? Citrus Distillers, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is excited to announce the 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Now available at Total Wine and other participating retailers. Elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans. The 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Duval!
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
He's gotten better as the season's gone on. Some of his, statistical numbers, he's getting the ball out of his hand extremely fast. It does slow down pass rush when you can do that, especially in the third and short, medium range. And, he's trusting his guys, down the field, and they're making plays for him. So, and he's not turning the ball over, So all those things are in his favor, and they're helping, and he's playing good.
Have it the Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson earlier today in his normal Wednesday press conference. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, and that's Baker Mayfield. Last week, a perfect passer rating. The third quarterback in the NFL this year with a perfect passer rating in a game. I mean, efficient as can be, 4 touchdown passes, and on the season, he's over 3,300 yards now. Touchdown to interception ratio strong, and Baker's got some guys around him as well. JP Shadrick, John Oehser here in Jacksonville, Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. The perfect holiday gift is here. Grab your Jaguars holiday pack and get a Jags blanket and ticket to the Panthers game Sunday, December 31st, starting at just $78. Get your holiday pack now. Call 904-633-2000. This is John's time of year. It's only 5 days away. You've got your Merry Grinchmas cup today, John, in the studio with it. What do we got here?
So you think at first
in the microphone, please. It'd be great.
But it actually says Merry Grinchmas.
Ah.
See, it's a play on words, JP, is what it is.
The Grinch, and there's a
dog.
You. Who's the dog? Is that part of the Grinch deal? I haven't seen.
It's Max, the dog.
Oh, Max, the dog. I haven't seen the Grinch in forever, obviously.
Well, you're missing it because, again, you think it says Merry Christmas, and you get up closer, it says Merry Grinchmas.
Got me. Fooled. This is what we deal with every day, Bucky, right here.
Yeah, certainly dealing with it. But I appreciate him being in the holiday mood. I think everyone should be excited about the holidays this time of year, even in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. Hopefully there's a little cheer around the building.
Hey, Christmas is the gift-getting season.
It is. It certainly is. Hey, you don't need to give Baker any gifts. He's earning them on his own right now, Bucky. And why is he playing so well? Why is this offense playing so well in Tampa?
Well, I think Baker has a lot of confidence because the offense has been tailor-made to fit his talents. Drew Canales, coming over from Seattle, has looked at how Baker performed first in the LA Rams offense and has done a lot of the stuff that they were doing there. It's a combination of some of the movement stuff that is associated to the play-action passing game that people that subscribe to that Shanahan system like to utilize, but they've also made it Baker friendly by spreading it out, quick rhythm throws, things that he did really well at Oklahoma. And it's worked because Baker has finally kind of grown comfortable in his own skin and in the style of play that he has to utilize to be effective in the National Football League. So the ball is out quickly. He trusts his playmakers because they do have really good playmakers around him, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Rashad White has kind of stepped up and done some things. And so this team and this offense and everything fits. So the system fits the player, which is why the player is playing so well.
Yeah, it also, I know we're talking about Baker, but there's only one Hall of Famer in this game, and he plays for the Bucs. You know, I mean, and other guys might eventually make it, but Mike Evans, the guy, if he quits now, he goes to Canton.
You'll have a case.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine him not being in.
He's had 1,000 yards every year of his career.
Yeah, I mean, he's an elite player who all I know is every time I watch highlights on a Sunday night, I watch Mike Evans scoring. And so that's, to me, is, you know, in games like this late where I expect this to be a close game in the fourth quarter, he's the guy you got to keep from making a play and beating you. And it gives them a chance when you have a Hall of Fame guy in the skill position in the other team. So that worries me against the Jaguars defense that is in the bottom 5 of the league against the pass and has been beaten up in the secondary and has given up its share of big plays in recent weeks. Didn't do it last week, but it's given up its share of a big play. So I'm not afraid to admit when I'm scared, JP, and Mike Evans scares me.
Yeah, and Evans scares you, and then that opens up Godwin, who last week, Bucky, put up numbers.
Yeah, he put up numbers. You know, like he's kind of the beneficiary of the squeaky wheel getting a little grease. Yeah. He didn't touch the ball much the previous week. Wife complained a little bit, and lo and behold, he had a big week. And so he's motivated. He's back involved in the game plan, and they have two guys that can give you a lot of problems. Both of them are size guys with the ability to win the 50-50 balls down the field. So the matchups would be everything, and who's available in the secondary could go a long way to determining how Mike Caldwell has to play. But let me say this, because this comes on the heels of last week. There were a lot of people upset, and I heard like people being critical of the defense because the Ravens finished with over 200 yards on the ground. Lamar Jackson had almost 100 yards on the ground, but some of that was by design. They wanted to allow them to kind of do whatever they wanted to do between the twittings and play really good defense in the red zone. And for most of the game, they did that because the point total, 23 points, that's enough for you to be able to win if your defense doesn't serve up big plays and doesn't give up points. Offensively, we haven't matched that. I think they'll adopt a similar strategy against the Buccaneers. Won't give up the big plays, keep it underneath, rally and tackle, and you hope when the ball gets to the 20-yard line, you can force threes instead of sevens. And if you do that, you should be able to get enough points to win.
Yeah, I thought that game, I completely agree with that. They, for 3 quarters, you had them at 10 and had you gave them one when you turned the ball over. So the defense gave them a chance to win. And had they gotten 12 points that were right there for the taking in the first half, then you're up. It doesn't always play out this way, but theoretically, then you're up 19-10 at least when Agnew hits the big play. Now you're midway through the third quarter, and now the Ravens have to have 2 scores, so they're playing uphill. They're not able to play the way they love to play. And then I think, the yards didn't bother me at all the other night on defense. I thought they put themselves in position to win. I have a question for the game planner, which and I'm usually not big on, okay, this guy was on this staff, so this matters, this whatever. But Mike Caldwell, obviously the Bucs know how he thinks defensively. Anything to that? Any advantage there for Tampa and just sort of knowing how he likes to attack?
I think the thing will be because he wasn't the defensive play caller in Tampa.
But he's a disciple of that.
Yeah, he's a disciple of that system. I think if anything, it probably helps the Jaguars more so than it helps the Buccaneers.
Do tell.
Mike Caldwell worked under Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles still called that defense. Mike Caldwell knows the ins and outs of not only the scheme, but he knows how the play caller thinks. He should be able to relay that information to Doug and Press and to be able to give them very kind of clear ideas on how Todd Bowles likes to approach red zone situations. 3rd and long, what does he like to call when the game is on the line? What is his pet call? What does he want to go to? How does he think about certain things? I think it's a little more mysterious for Todd Bowles trying to figure out his disciple because he never had to work with Mike Caldwell calling the game. So he may not have the same feel that Mike Caldwell should have for Todd Bowles.
I have a question about that process. I mean, is that a meeting you have like in the off season when you see the schedule come out? Or, I mean, it seems like it might be too busy this week to go through that. I mean, when do they talk about this stuff?
I mean, I think it's a refresher. I still think you game plan independently of what Caldwell's thoughts are, but I think he can add context too. Well, why would they call this? Like, we see this blitz show up sometimes on 3rd down. Why does he like to do that? And he can tell them, hey, in 3rd and long, he's thinking more zone dogs than man dogs, because zone dogs, he wants the ball to come out, but he wants to have vision so he can rally and tackle. These situations, he wants to play more man-to-man because of whatever the philosophy is. It's more context to trying to fill in the gaps for some of the things that will show up on tape. It won't necessarily be able to give them the predictor, but it will allow them to kind of build the game plan, having a better understanding of who they're facing from a play calling standpoint.
Zone dog, that's actually John's nickname.
It really is. Zone dog, zone, whatever, just different variations.
We're back in a moment. We'll flip it around to the Jaguars offense against this Bucs defense, and yes, a connection of sorts between a Bucs linebacker and a Jaguars staffer. Jags fans want customized Jags furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. Zip Chair furniture for fans. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
The kick is up. It's good!
Score winning sub deals this Jaguars regular season at Firehouse Subs. Get 2 medium subs for just $10 after any game when the Jaguars kick a field goal of 40 yards or more. It's a bold deal for the bold city. Sign up at firehouseSubs.com/fieldgoals for Firehouse for offer details and to automatically receive this offer when you use your Firehouse Subs rewards account. Redeemable only at participating Jacksonville and Orlando area restaurants. Only available on the Firehouse Subs app and online ordering.
Calling all Jags fans. Is your little one ready to become a junior Jaguar? Now through January 2nd, MyGate rewards loyalty members who buy 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola participating products will be entered to win one of 10 behind-the-scenes experiences at Everbank Stadium for your child. Plus, you'll earn a 10-cent rollback at the pump, a win every time. Fuel your child's dreams, your car, and your passion for the Jags with Gate, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You know, now we've introduced a new player, right, with Ezra, you know, to our scheme. Not a rookie, but a veteran player, but new to our scheme. And Walker's playing, you know, guard. He's been tackle and he's bounced around, and it's hard for those guys to. It's kind of hard to get in a rhythm, right? So I think that's where it starts, you know, there. And then secondly is just I think our ability to finish blocks and sustain blocks. We're you know, and look, it's been no shortage of good defensive fronts either. So we're playing some good teams, but it's no excuse for us not to continue to sustain and move people.
That's the head coach, of course, Doug Peterson, earlier today discussing the Jaguars' run game and some things they might be able to do down the stretch. And it's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick, John Oehser, and you guessed it, Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. Pro Bowl voting is now live through December 25th. Be sure to Cast your vote for which Jags players you'd like to see there by going to jaguars.com/Pro Bowl. Well, that's one side of it. Obviously, the offensive line and moving people, as Doug put it. I asked Travis Etienne Jr. in the locker room a little bit ago, what stands out the most about the Buccaneers defense? And the first thing he said, Bucky, was Vita Vea. That guy is huge. So that's number one. And that front seven, they've got some veteran guys, and this is a group that's been at it for a long time, really, overall.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a real veteran-laden group. They have talent at the point of attack along their front line, which is the front seven, linebackers and D-line. And when you can't move them off the ball, it's hard to find creases in the run game. Vita Vea is a freak show at 350 pounds. If you can imagine that the run-stopping menace was a running back in high school. Like, they actually gave him the ball as a heavyweight, high 290 runner. He has light feet. He's athletic. He's going to be a problem. And then when you think about the linebacker core, Levante David, veteran with experience, Antoine Winfield coming from safety, being able to kind of dial it up and really diagnose plays really well. It's just a really rock-solid front that you have to contend with.
It is, and yet they haven't been great this year as a defense. So I know White has not quite had the year that he has before, but Antoine Winfield is playing at an extremely high level, obviously. So it's gettable. What I don't know really, and I guess this is a question for Bucky, who wears many hats, is there anything that can be done to jumpstart the running game? Or I kind of hate even asking the question anymore, because I've kind of taken the approach until we see it, there's really not. They have declined running the ball for a month. Any hope there? Because that'd be your logical. With CJ out, I mean, with Trevor out and CJ in, you'd like to be able to run consistently, Bucky.
Yeah, you would like to be able to run consistently, not only for C.J. Beathard, but for Trevor Lawrence and whoever's at quarterback. Because when you run the football, what it does is it creates some one-on-one opportunities that allows it to for you to pass more efficiently, meaning that no longer can they play split safety coverage with two safeties, either on the hash who's playing cover two deep, or quarters where you have like four across splitting the field and 25%, like, respectively. You now have to do some 8-man fronts, one-on-one coverage that allows your guys, Calvin Ridley and others, to work in advantageous situations. So they need to run the football to make the Buccaneers respect the run, so they can dictate the terms on these early downs, so they maybe can set up a shot or two to Calvin Ridley or Evan Ingram going down the field.
I mean, Bucky, to run on first down, ideally you want to get about 4 yards, right? At least. That makes it 2nd and 6. But just explain to maybe the casual fan the difference between 2nd and 6 and like 2nd and 9. How big of a difference is that for a play caller?
Well, it's a huge difference because as a play caller, everyone wants to get to what they call mixed downs. So mixed downs on second down would be anywhere from 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 6. It's a mixed down because now the defense has to respect the run and the pass, because you just don't know how the offensive coordinator will mix it up. When you get to these longer yardage situations where you can predict that it's more than likely a pass coming, well, now you can start doing the junk stuff, the exotic blitzes, the stunts, the movement, the bluff in the skies, because hey, let's take the run off the table. They're going to pass. How can we best disrupt the passing game? That's why it's really important when you hear offensive coordinators and coaches talk about staying on schedule. On schedule means that at each down in situation, we now have an opportunity to have a mix down because we're on schedule. We can run it or throw it based on what we wish, as opposed to what the defense is dictating to us.
Levante David, we saw him on that list a moment ago of players, second on the team in tackles. He's been at this thing for a long time now. Obviously, great player for a long time in the league, 2012 draft pick. He's been with the Bucs his entire career. He finished his college career at Nebraska, but he started, how about this connection? He started his college career in community college, Fort Scott in Kansas. Guess who played against him in community college? Offensive coordinator Press Taylor was the quarterback at Butler Community College. They played against each other in 2008, Bucky, in the regular season. Press Taylor's team, Butler, won 24-7 and went on to their second consecutive junior college national championship that year. But Levante David was on the Fort Scott team along with Jason Pierre-Paul on that team. That's a heck of a lineup on the other side. And Press Taylor smoked them. How about that?
Yeah, Press Taylor, you're talking about Butler. Butler was has always been a JUCO power, so I'm not surprised that Press Taylor was on the winning end of that situation. But it's kind of crazy, man. Small world, how things come full circle when it comes to the guys that you play against, you ultimately end up coaching against, or you're coaching, he's playing, one of those other things. It's a unique situation, though.
And you got to remember, like, Press is 35 years old.
At first, you think it says Merry Christmas. But then it says Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's a small world.
Yeah. Let's come back. I thought you'd have more for that, John. It's great. Thanks a lot. I have a feeling this was pre-planned because I know you, and I know people around you. We're back in a moment. Our final thoughts. Thank goodness. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Jaguars at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you've got the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change. And mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars. That's Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Hey Florida, this is Luke Fortner, center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know the rush of a good game, but there's no winning with aggressive driving on our roads. It's all about strategy and control. Embrace the space with the driver in front of you, go the speed limit, and use that blinker. These are the moves that make us all champions of the road. Target Zero is our game plan for safer roads and is a testament to our teamwork and dedication. Join me and let's get everyone home safely every single day.
Welcome back. It is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks. Final moments on this Wednesday afternoon ahead of Week 16. The Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa. What was that road? Dale Mabry?
Dale Mabry. Yep.
Where the stadium is down there. So that's Christmas Eve, 4:05 kickoff. On the way back from Tampa, you might pass some reindeer in the sky.
Just make sure you don't hit the sled.
Yeah, it's important.
Make sure the pie. And as we were talking about during the break, JP, look, you sense some frustration from Jaguars fans, disappointment, whatever. But what Doug said on Monday is right. The reality here is you're in first place with 3 games to go. And no matter how you've gotten there, guess what, JP? We've only covered 2 division champions around here. This is only the 3rd time since we've been doing it together that they've been in first place at this time.
Yeah.
It's only happened 7 or 8 times in franchise history. So as disappointed as you may be with the way they've played, if you're a fan following this and an observer, this is still why you're in it. And teams have gotten to the postseason in weirder situations than this, more beat up than this, more
losing records. Right.
This can be where some of the best memories are created. Hey, remember that time C.J. Beathard came in? This could be where history is written too. So, in that sense, these are still very interesting, and the Bucs game is really, really big, and maybe they win it. That's my analysis. Maybe
they win. Oh, you hear that, Bucky? We got a maybe out of John.
Well, I know Bucky will lock it because he's the eternal optimist, but I can't lock this one.
Oh, well, I mean, I can't necessarily lock it, but I am optimistic that we'll find a way to get it done. I do believe, like the funny thing about the season, it takes all these twists and turns, but then you end up having like a 3-game season to determine whether you get into the tournament. And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters in the NFL is, can you get into the tournament, because it resets. You then have an opportunity to kind of make it what it is that you want to happen in terms of being a Super Bowl team and those things. And so when you really look at it, Tampa is a solid team, but they're just as up and down as any team in the National Football League. They had a great performance last week against the Green Bay Packers team, but that Packers team lost to the Giants the week before. So I say all that to say, who knows, man? On Sunday, the Jaguars just need to be the best team in the stadium. We don't need to make it bigger than what it is. They just need to play well. If they play well, most teams will have a tough time knocking them off. It's just been a long time since we've seen the Jaguars play well. But if you look and try and find some silver linings from how they perform defensively, they played a pretty good game against the Baltimore Ravens. Take away the stats. Special teams-wise, they had big plays from Jamal Agnew, did a really good job covering and doing those things. Still got to fix Brandon McManus. His situation, missing those 2 field goals, kind of changed some of the momentum in the game. And then you just need the offense to be more consistent. Haven't been able to run the ball, but did a pretty decent job of throwing it around. Just got to put it all together. Hopefully we can put it all together on Sunday.
Only Super Bowl champion I ever covered was the 2006 Colts. They lost 3 games in December to 3 division teams on the road that didn't make the playoffs, and they won the Super Bowl. So
just got to get in.
Yeah, you play well in the last couple of games, and you feel better about yourself. I'm not saying I don't think this team's a Super Bowl team, but point being, that was the team that gave up 375 yards rushing out here, and Indianapolis thought their season was over, meaning the fans. They thought it was a disaster, it was terrible, and they won the Super Bowl. So you can pull out of these funks. You just have to do it, and you have to eliminate your mistakes.
Hey, Bucky, I don't know if you heard, but John used to work for the Colts. You might have heard.
Yeah, I did hear that. It's the only time that we made reference to that this podcast, but normally we kind of try and get that in there at least once.
Sure.
A podcast that
I'm not ashamed of my
used
past.
to work for the
Wouldn't go back. I'm not ashamed of it. All my skeletons are out there.
That's what it is. All right, so Jaguars, Bucks, Christmas Eve, 4:05 Eastern Time. Big game. Battle of first place teams. Of course, the Bucks tied for first in the NFC South. Bucky, have a great week, and we'll talk to you this weekend.
Man, looking forward to a big win on Sunday. Big win.
Big win. I just win by 1, and I'm fine. It's John Oehser, Bucky Brooks, our entire crew, Joe Fortunato, Brent Reber. I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for watching. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.